I swear, man, modern-day football just be so boring lately. I remember the days of seeing the likes of Dani Alves, Nesta, Iniesta, Xavi, Adriano, Ronaldinho. Just so many talented footballers playing in their prime. These players played with the freedom of expression like no other, and football was just so much fun. But now lately, I just feel like it has fell off, to be honest. And trust me, I'm not trying to be negative here, but it doesn't really help when you have one manager, and I'm not gonna mention any names, who comes in and dominates various leagues playing one brand of football, meaning that every other team beside that's the brand of football they have to play as well just to keep up. And while I respect his genius, I'm also this close to suggesting we bring back waterboarding until he signs a confession admitting he made football boring. Not even to punish him, just so we can heal a bit, you know? Like no one seems to be having any fun in football nowadays. We're seeing fewer and fewer stars shine, and we're seeing fewer and fewer young talents break through, and it's sad. Like bro, is an up-and-coming 16-year-old really too much to ask for these days? So I asked the question, is football really getting boring now? And I'm gonna try to explain every minute detail on why not only does it suck, but also how boring as fuck it's become. But for me to explain that, let's figure out why football was created in the first place. A quick Google search says football was invented in England sometime in the 1800s when a bunch of bored guys with horrible haircuts got tired of industrial misery and decided, what if we just kick this ball around and forgot our problems for a bit? And just like that, football was created. So the irony in this is football was literally created to be the opposite of boring. The original goal wasn't tactics, stats, or heat maps. Just 20 lads chasing a ball, occasionally breaking a leg and calling it character development. It was freedom, escapism, the beautiful game. You had butchers, coal miners, and pub owners leaving work early just to scream on muddy fields and forget that they had to come home in the evening and goon to this shit.
Daddy, chill.
And it kinda worked.
How?
Football spread across the world faster than your horizontally enhanced friend can finish his Big Mac. Why? Because it was simple. A ball, a patch of land, and a bunch of people who just wanted to feel something. That was the beauty of football. Now let's talk about how much football has changed since then. For starters, modern day football just straight up lack elegance. I feel like football back in the day was a lot more smoother, a lot more elegant. There was more individual brilliance, whereas today it just feels like a robotic sport. Like I seriously struggle to think of more than 5 players in the Premier League that actually excite me when it comes to football. It's a bit better outside of the Prem, but you get my point. Somewhere along the way, the joy got turned into geometry. The same game that used to be 11 guys going full anime protagonist mode is now about positional discipline and controlled tempo. Like bro, just put the damn tactics in the bag. Now it literally feels like someone's trying to solve a math equation with shin pads on. It is just so freaking boring. I literally would rather watch paint dry at this point. It's getting ridiculous out here. The other day I was bored, and so I looked up the definition of boredom.
What?
And Wikipedia said it's the emotional state experienced when someone has nothing engaging to do and is uninterested in their surroundings. So basically just me watching football in the great 2025. We've reached a point where players are scared to try anything fun in case it ruins their pass completion rate. And don't even get me started on the fans. They'll watch a 0-0 draw and post graphs afterward like this was a tactical masterclass. Tactical masterclass? I just watched 22 multimillionaires jog around for 90 minutes and hug it out at the end like it was a freaking family gathering. And this obsession with the system, we all know where that came from. Again, I'm not gonna name drop, but you know exactly who I'm talking about. The shiny-headed mastermind with the turtleneck and 17 assistant coaches per blade of grass. Bro, hear me out for a second. What if I volunteered to just fake a terminal illness diagnosis so that I can ask to meet Pep for my Make-A-Wish and just pull some shit like this off? Alright, that was a joke, but my point is everyone copies his playstyle now, literally everyone. Even teams in League 2 are trying to build from the back like they've got Xavi hiding in midfield. Like bro, your right back is a part-time plumber. The modern-day football has turned fully robotic mode, and it actually freaking scares me. The last game is an advert made by Nike in 2014 where the world's greatest players are on a mission to save football from a statue-driven scientist. In this advert, the world's best players are seen to take too many risks and make too many mistakes, so they are replaced with perfect roid versions of themselves. Now this change is happily received by the public until they realize that this is not how football is supposed to be played, and it quickly loses popularity. It takes the famous Ronaldo to assemble these long-lost footballers to a battle against these perfect robots where in the end they are victorious.
This was a banker.
And although this advert was made as a fiction, it is sadly becoming reality. In the advert where football was taken over by robots, the amount of live viewers at the game decreased massively. The same is actually happening in reality as live sports broadcasting revenues peaked in 2018 and it is now on the decline.
We do not care.
Which essentially means that less people are watching live football and would rather watch some freaking brain rot highlights. Now I guess this is a product of lowering attention spans, but also football is becoming more and more boring. With our constant obsession on the stats of a player, we're losing more artists at the game that make the sport worth watching, and the result is loads of players scared to take risks so that they can keep their stats intact. Players like Neymar has struggled with this sort of criticism, and he is one of the last of a dying breed of artists in football. And everybody knows that Neymar just got tired of this system way of playing football and is now just a full-time gambling addict, and I don't even blame him, bro. Just look at Haaland. Haaland, I respect him, and I also fear him a little. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. But let's be real, he recently broke a Premier League record, and I can't remember a single goal except this one. This was just bananas, but still. Man scores like a fax machine, consistent, unstoppable, but with zero emotion. Tap in, header, tap in, penalty, rinse and repeat. It's like watching a freaking Roomba vacuuming a living room, super effective, but I'm not hanging posters of it on my damn wall. And you wanna know how bad it's gotten? You know Messi? The small and mildly weird dude who's good at football. Yes, he said kids are now being taught to stop dribbling. Actual 7-year-olds being told, nah bro, don't try to beat your man, just recycle possession. I mean, that's not development, that's some programming. And that's the scary part. They're literally training the creativity out of football, turning what used to be art into an engineering project. And then they have the audacity to wonder why stadiums aren't selling out, or why people would rather watch highlights on TikTok. Like bro, there are no freaking highlights. Football is just dying as an entertainment sport, man. I mean, have you ever seen the goal of the month 20-30 years ago? Those would be just incredible. You'd have people scoring volleys from 30 yards, you'd have people dribbling past 4 or 5 players and dinking it over the goalkeeper. It's rare now. I listened to an interview from Bielsa, the Uruguay manager formerly of Leeds. He said this: in years to come, the number of footballers worth watching will be less and less, and football will become less enjoyable. Like, yeah, that have started to hit me when I sit like this trying to enjoy a game of football nowadays. You used to watch a match and get moments that stayed with you forever. Solo runs that felt like movie scenes and mad last-minute screamers. But now, cutbacks, tap-ins, trademark celebrations, congrats, you just watched the same goal for the 47th time this week. And yeah, maybe I do sound like a bitter old boomer. But honestly, I'm not asking for much. Just bring back the unpredictability, bring back the edge, let players play. Let the fullback overlap just because he feels like it. Let the striker shoot from 40 yards and blame it on adrenaline. And flippy some step overs and a rainbow flick every now and then really too much to ask for? Because football isn't supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to make you scream, cry, throw things at your TV and question your entire existence because your team lost 3-2 in the 94th minute after hitting the post 6 times to lose you the parlay.
This is peak still.
Bro, I would start swinging, I don't even care, but that's the real experience.
And my day is ruined.
And please don't even get me started on VAR. That shit is so ass it's not even worth ranting about. I mean, 4 degenerates sit in a dark room staring at an iPad for 7 minutes just to decide a man's toenail was offside.
This is disgusting.
You can't even celebrate a goal properly now. You score, run to the corner flag, do a backflip, then stand there for 5 freaking minutes like you're waiting for your Uber Eats, and it always be hella awkward as well for some reason. And the worst part, they still get it wrong. VAR got all the angles, zoom-ins, replays, and somehow still has the decision-making skills of a Sunday League ref with 1 contact lens. Get it out of my sport, man. And just when I thought all hope was lost, there's a glimmer. Some light at the end of the tunnel.
Boy, if you don't...
Players like Lamine Yamal, 17 years old and already making elite defenders look like training cones, or Desire Du slicing through midfields like he's playing a different sport. Just to mention some, these aren't robots, these are ballers. They're the type of players to do stuff that makes you pause, rewind and yell, nah, no way he just did that.
That's why he's the GOAT!
And in those moments, I start to believe again, kinda, that maybe, just maybe, the soul of football isn't fully gone. It's just been chilling on the bench for a little, waiting for someone bold enough to bring it back. I know this wasn't my usual type of video, but best believe I was damn passionate making it, so I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you haven't, and let me know if you would like more long-form content like this.
Every day I'm shuffling.